Hey, what's up, you guys? So, first of all, thank you so much for being on my email list. You're my private, fun, beautiful group. I want to actually go through this exercise. I was going to write it out and just send it to you, but I actually realized that I just want to talk through it. So let me just talk through this before you do it so you can understand how you want to approach this, because this is a tool that you can use over and over and over. And the more I do this, the more I tweak it, the more my mentor looks at it, and we just get better at doing this. And so you may find that I say, oh, this actually helped me even more, because this is stuff that I do actually in my personal business. Okay? So here's the deal. First question. And it's not even about business. I said business, but I meant personal life. Like, this is just what happens in business and in personal life. This is what you do all the time. So many of my mentors have taught me this in some version. And so what my mind automatically does is find systems. And so I'm always like, okay, what actually got me change? And so then I go back and I figure out what were the questions, what were the thought processes, what is the thing that I can use all the time as a tool to get me change. And I don't know about you, but I am down for that. So here we go. First question is this. What's one thing? Now, when I first talked about this, I was like, go in all your, go write everything. But I realized that if this is your first time doing this, that's going to be probably overwhelming. So I've done this for a couple years now, actually more than a couple years. And so you want to be able to do one thing at a time and see how that feels for you, because I want you to be the boss. I want you to take this and see which part of this actually serves you. All of this may or may not serve you. I'm not saying that I don't know. You just got to do it and see. So question is, what's one thing that you're no longer okay with? Like, what is the one thing right now that you really choose to no longer tolerate? Don't sugarcoat it and don't hold back. Now, I want you to really get raw with this and actually write out, like, what are the things that you're like, you know what? I don't want to rock this no more. There's going to be a lot of things. Pick the number one thing. Okay. And then there's categories of your life. So it may be something in your family, maybe something with a relationship. It may be something with finances. It may be something in your business. It may be something with your fitness. Everybody has something different depending on where they are in their lives. And it affects them differently. So you have to figure out what that one thing is that is irritating you and it's affecting every other part of your life. And you choose to no longer allow it to take control. What is that one thing? And I want you to really write it down. Be descriptive, okay? Now, I want you to look at the next question, and it says, what types of habits allowed this thing? Like, you ever think about how the heck did I get here? Okay. Or maybe you're saying, here I am again. Like, what did you allow others to do? So, for example, you may be allowing someone to take advantage of you. Maybe you took advantage of someone else. Maybe you didn't handle business the way you should have. Maybe you didn't pay the bill on time. Maybe you didn't support the child with the whatever that they needed, right? And it's not so that you can find a pity party moment. Please do not use this as a tool where you're like feeling down about yourself, because this is empowerment. This is powerful, because now you're taking control. Your mind, once you decide that this is not okay, it becomes a sensitive thing to your mind. And so your mind, every time the thing continues to happen, your mind goes, alert, alert. This is not okay. This thing is in the box marked, this is not okay. And it's going to keep reminding you. And then you have a choice. You have a choice whether you're going to do something or not. Okay. So in order to figure out how you got to where you are, you got to look at what your habits are. Tony Robbins likes to call them rituals. Lisa Nichols says habits. Stephen Covey says habits. Dave Ramsey says habits. I mean, everybody that's impacted my life massively, they basically say there's something that you're doing or you're allowing someone else to do to you, or that you are, because you're negligent, you've elected to do. It's causing you to have this thing in your life that's irritating you, that you're sick of tolerating. So the question is, what types of habits allow this one toleration to happen? So if you find yourself, for example, when I found myself in the bank, when I used to oh my God, Bank of America or overdraft, every morning I woke up, I was looking for overdraft fees. When I found myself in that point, the answer to the next question is this, because I'm sick of tolerating these overdraft fees. Okay, so what habits allowed this to happen over and over again? Well, I don't pay attention to my money. I actually just swipe, 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 swipe. I actually, allow people to say, let's go have a drink. And then I would go because I wasn't looking at the real deal. So these are rituals that I had in place that I was just every day doing. I had to know what those rituals are in order to even move forward in seeking to change. Okay. So now, what did you have to believe about yourself in order to get to this point and allow yourself to tolerate this thing? That's a deep question. And again, I reworded these really, these are kind of the questions I have for myself. I write them on a piece of paper and a notebook and I do them. Right. And so it's like, what do I have to believe about myself? Because remember, you get in life what you believe. So what in me at that moment in my life did I believe something? There was a belief somewhere that allowed me to keep winding up in the overdraft part of so what was that belief for myself? There was a standard that I become accustomed to. And the real standard is like nobody, like if you really look at my family, that was just kind of like normal. It still is for most of my family. So it's like, it's okay, I'm in a negative this week. Like it wasn't even a big deal. There was a belief that I couldn't have money. So every time I got money, I spent it because growing up, I couldn't have money. So what did I have to believe about myself? I also had this weird belief because once I started making money, it's like, well, I'll get it tomorrow. So then I would still do the things that don't support where I really said I want to be. So what did I have to believe about myself in order to get to that point and allow myself to tolerate every single week, every single morning, waking up panicking, trying to see if I messed up? It's crazy. So here's the deal. I believe that money's going to run out. That was a belief. It's going to run out. Crazy. Because then you spend it. That is so weird, but it's true. So I'm thinking money's going to run out. I'm going to get it again tomorrow. Right? And so the question is that true? Does money really just run out? Am I really not worthy of holding on to money? Is it true that money's going to run out and I'm going to be poor and blah, blah, blah? Is that true? No, that's not true. So what's the truth? The truth is, even though in that moment I didn't have the money, I knew that if I learned how to budget, I did know that was true. There was a million examples of people who are saying this is the way to do it. So the truth is, and I know for sure that if I actually take the right classes on money, if I actually discipline myself with money, if I actually follow the people who are actually being successful financially, I know that I won't run out of money. I know that I will be able to grow. I know that I don't have to keep paying overdrafts, right? This is an example, guys. I'm trying to give you a real life situation. Now, knowing the truth about yourself, what are the habits and the rituals that you need to put in place to support the new belief? So for me, I was like, okay, first of all, I need to separate my business money from my personal money. So I went to the bank and I set everything up so I can stop just having one gigantic melting pot of a bank account. Okay. And then I wanted to get books and read them every single day on finances. Watching YouTube videos on finance. I wanted to get the resources that I didn't have. Right. And I made sure every single day to check my bank account, because a lot of the overdraft fees was because I wasn't looking and paying attention to my debits and my swipes. So I started saying, okay, I'm going to look, but this time I'm not just looking for the overdrafts. I'm looking to avoid the overdrafts. So let me create that ritual. Now, fast forward, that was actually still a negative thing because I was opening the bank account every day, grimacing, if that's the word, squinching, trying to pray and hope I didn't mess it up. So you got to find rituals that support you, right? But in that moment, that helped me stop the madness. And then I stopped taking my debit card all the time. Certain debit cards, like I don't have them with me. I had to find ways and things to actually keep me supported with where I said I wanted to go. I said, okay, I want to be financially fit. So now that I have this true statement, I am. I want your true statement to have I am. Okay, I have this. I am this. Whatever you say, whatever the belief is, I believe I can make X amount of dollars. I believe I can be in love. I believe I can be, sexy, whatever it is for you, because everybody's going to be different. I believe I can be fit. I believe I can, whatever. You've got to write out the truth. Okay. And then knowing the truth about yourself, put the habits in place. So what are the habits to be fit? Well, you already know you got to start curbing your diet. Find them. There's a million ways to eat. There's a million people who have put something out about what works and what doesn't work. Find the one that works for you and get with it. Okay? Then how will you hold yourself accountable? That is important. Because it's all cute to do a worksheet, but if you're not actually holding yourself accountable, that's where it matters. That's exactly where it matters, okay? Now, once you are writing out your truths, your new habits and rituals that you're going to put in place. So for example, in one of my classes, I tell them, every day, look at your money go. And then let your brain do the wondering about how you're going to actually make that money go happen. It's just your job to make it a ritual, to acknowledge bills that are due on so that you can start paying them on time, to acknowledge the money that you say you want to make every day. It's just your job to acknowledge it. Can you just acknowledge it? That's a ritual, right? And so once you've created these rituals, you've got to hold yourself accountable. You've got to set this new standard, okay? And then I want you to put your new standards and your new rituals somewhere that you can look at them every single day. Every single day. Put them somewhere that you can look at every single day. And I want you to make it a count, make it a habit, okay, to work through your stuff and try not to overwhelm yourself by doing a million problems at once, because then you're going to realize, okay, I really don't have time management down. Because I tried that, guys. That's why I'm giving that advice. I tried that and it's kind of like, oh my God, I can't. What really works for me is figuring out what I'm sick of, figuring out how I got there, and implementing the new rules and then doing them. Like, freaking do it. Don't do this. Get all emotional, be hyped for 3 days and don't do it. Okay, so there's more to this, and this is just the first step. Because once we do this, we're going to start talking about the things that'll actually make this last and stay in place. And we already know it starts with why. But we'll get there. For now, I want you to do this exercise, and you shall hear from me again.